Yes, guys, what's going on? Speci here. Fleda is, in my opinion, the best bronze card in the game, apart from maybe Messenger of the Sea. So we're going to be playing a whole bunch of these using Megascopes and particularly Operator. Now, Operator with Fleda has some incredible synergy because it's going to put a 6-provision Fleda into your opponent's side of the board, which we can then kill. And if our Fledas die, we've got some in the graveyard, we can then use Incubus to res even more Fledas. So Operator is an absolutely crucial card in this deck. You want to have your Fleda in hand and then Operator it. And that's a big reason why we're playing both Raw Decree and a Neuromancer. You guys know me, I hate playing these tutor cards. I'd rather just play lots of thinning and win that way. You know, like you look at a lot of my decks, there's just loads of thinning cards and none of these big tutors. Monsters just doesn't have that efficient thinning. It really does not. And because you've got Regis as well, who you can almost look like as a Gord type card. I can't believe I don't have this premium. I need to sort that out. Then really this card is not one you want to have in your hand round 1. You want to mulligan it away, and then you can Neuromancy into it in round 3 if you don't draw it, right? You want to have that luxury. So playing Raw Decree and a Nero, while really expensive, is going to help us get our Operator in round 1 when we need it, and our Regis in round 3 when we need that as well. So obviously by playing Devotion, we also get the payoff of playing Heatwave. I'm also playing a couple of Omega Scopes as well. We were considering playing a Darren in this deck, but we decided to remove it, but it's definitely something you could consider doing. The idea being we're going to Megascope the Fledas, and then if we've got Crimson Curse or Deathlaf's Blood Moon down on the opposite side of the board, the Fleda from the Megascope is actually going to buff itself up instantly as well from the Megascope. A lot of the time with Megascopes on engines, they're very slow, but with Fledas, that's just not the case because Crimson Curse is going to trigger it as well. So that's pretty cool. Again, you could consider playing a Darren with this and going Defender and all that sort of stuff. We decided to remove the Defender in order to fit in some more juicy control tools. So we've got the Heatwave, we've got the Toad Prince, which is just one of the best cards going, as well as Gale in at 6 provision, who is a nice point stamp card. You could consider playing Parasite or Dora Grey in this slot if we feel like we need a little bit more control. But I just love this card. I think it's absolutely brilliant. In at 5 provisions, we've got both the Alp and Necrorat. These are the main cards that are just going to be giving you bleeds on order. When I played this deck a lot of the time before, I was actually struggling to have enough bleed every turn for my Fledas. So obviously Necrorat being an engine that's getting more bleeding every turn is really nice, and Alps gives you 3 bleeding one turn, 3 bleeding the next turn, which is going to buff your Fledas by 3. We've also got Feast for Blood for the Purify. I think it's a bit of an auto-include card, as is the Bruxer, which is a nice Thrive Vampire engine. But we've brilliantly got the Undying Thirst. Why not? It's an opportunity. It's going to be giving 6 bleeding, which we can use as a finisher, which sounds ridiculous. But imagine we've got 4 Fledas on the board, and we use a bloody Undying Thirst. It's going to boost each of them by 6 points. If we cannot use Undying Thirst in this deck, whenever else are we going to use it? Speaking of a big finisher, Oriana does make the cut. She's going to be pretty difficult to remove because she's going to come in quite nice and tall, unlike something like a Katakan and Unseen Elder, which are going to be more easily removed. Our Fledas also come in quite tall, so we've got like lots of things that are competing for Heatwave value already. And Oriana is going to be boosting our Fledas by a big amount as well. So she's more of like a late game play rather than an early game engine. Once you've played most of your vampires, your Oriana can come through, and in a similar way to an Undying Thirst, she's probably going to be giving hopefully like 6 or 7 bleeding, but then obviously she's going to be working as an engine as well as that. So pretty excited to try this deck out. Again, there's a few considerations and things we might tweak. I do think, unfortunately, we need to play the Raw Decree and a Neuromancy in order for our Operator to actually work and be consistent with our Fledas. Yeah, let's give it a spin. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to check me out on Twitch, where I stream Gwent every day at 3:30 PM GMT. Let's go. Oh my god, a tutor. Okay. I mulligan Regis in the last game as well, right? Which people would be like, you mulligan Regis. Guys, I had a Nero and Raw Decree and Regis in the deck. What are the odds? You know? I certainly mulligan it round 1. So this could be an Operator, but we don't actually have anything. We don't have the Fleda in hand. Megascope is looking kind of awkward. The Megascopes could prove to be bad, we'll see. It's only 4p though, like even on a Necro it's not so bad, right? Kind of an interesting opener. It's Enslave 6. So we could Purify, but then we get no bleeding on it. I guess we just do it. We could go Bruxa first, but it doesn't really actually gain us much because we purify the bleed, right? So I don't know if you want one bleed. This guy's gonna be so sad. So I don't need to heat wave that straight away. There's already a defender down on the board. What I do want to do though is get my Regis ticking, right? So we could either go Bruxa first or we can go Necro. I think I prefer the Necro actually. Let's get this Regis ticking along, right? Now we're a little bit uninteractive. Thank you. That was very kind. Right, all we need to do is just get this T-board down enough so we can gale it. This could have been a Megascope play, in fairness. Megascope is definitely bad in this hand, there's no doubt about that. We'd much rather have like an Iron Falcon Knife Juggler or whatever it's called, right? We could just try and not play it. Off of Royal Decree. Not a whole bunch we want to do either. We could go for like a Fleder or so. We could go like Fleder Leader Charge, right? And then that would also give us a reason to play, give us a play on the Crimson. I think that's the play, right? I think we go Bleed, Fleder, Leader Charge. Maybe I was just supposed to play the Megascope though before the Bruxa. That's another option for us. So I guess we just go Gale. Royal Decree for the Fleder kind of saved us there. But equally like a Katakan could have done the same, right? Okay, so Incubus is actually really good against Nilfgaard. We don't need the Operator combo. We can just go Incubus straight away, right? We have the other Fleder. Brooks is the worst card here by a mile. We could keep the Megascope, but it's not great, right? So double of these is actually really OP, right? Oh my god, guys. We have triple Fleder in this hand. And then we just top deck our Regis, guys, right? And what I really like about Incubus with Fleder is the fact that you can get an instant bleed with Leader too.
Share the night, share the love.
But obviously there's very few decks that actually run 6 provision units. It's only Nilfgaard, which is why we play the Operator. So the fact we can do this play without even having to... This is actually something to bear in mind for this matchup in the future, is that we don't even need the Operator probably against Nilfgaard because they'll play Blightmakers anyway. This card continues to pop off, chat. It's just OP, mate. That is just OP. How is that even fair? Important to note that Incubus doesn't doom these cards either. We definitely want to get the other engine down, but also getting this Detlef down would be pretty nice. We could try and save Detlef for round 3.
Target
So summon a bronze. So we just want to make sure that it's next to the other Fleder.
Guaranteed.
It's going pretty well. They probably enslave one of them here.
I'll defend Kessa to my dying breath.
Could just be without interest to take the pass. It would just be nice to get some more bleeding in though, no? Giving them Detlef isn't really an issue either, because it's really the order, the deploy that gets the value, right? So I quite like the Detlef here. I guess we go for the back row. As he's also going to seize something from the back row, right? And we have the short round Regis play. Right, guys? We play a Neuromancy and Roll Decree and Regis. Surely. We have, of course, already played the Decree, though. But yeah, like, stealing Detlef here is not a big deal, really. It's also almost nice for us, right? It's an argument that Alp is a better steal for them. So we actually still have the pass. This is just good though, right? It's a lot of tempo because of the Alp. And again, you can see the Alp and Necrat. The fact they have orders is really important for Fledders. Non-devotion amnesty, eh? Unfortunately, we only boost our Fledder by 2 here, which is pretty bad. But it's Regis. Let's go. Okay. We have Incubus in hand again. Again, the Megascope is the biggest question mark I think we have about the deck as it stands, right? The Regis is obviously really bad.
Oh my god, is that the real SPECKI? I am your biggest fan. Can you please send me your picture with an autograph? Smiling face, smiling face, smiling face, smiling face.
I'm thinking the Megascopes might get cut, right? Pajatko, mate, joke's on you. You didn't even have to say Specky like that. All you have to do is say Speci and she says Specky. Yo, Pajatko, my boy. 17 months. I really appreciate the support, my friend. As always, what a lad. If you want to net deck me, feel free. I'll let you do it, just because it's you, mate. You know, most people I wouldn't, but for you, I'm doing pretty well, thanks. I went for a walk this morning. That's pretty poggers, right? I also built a flipping, a deck in, not in Arcane, a deck in Rune Terror yesterday for the first time, and it was pretty good. So, yeah, life is good, mate. I had an Arcane card and a Jace from Arcane. Life is great. And this deck's pretty fun. I don't know if we start off with the Operator, though. It'll be rude not to, I think.
A superb specimen, truly.
Problem is, Nilfgaard can actually use it against us, right? Maybe this was dumb. As I previously said, we don't probably need Operator Incubus in this matchup because they play Blight Makers, right? So maybe this was just dumb. I was too busy chatting to my boy Pajak.
Grace will not be pleased.
Because, yeah, this is a little alarming, isn't it? That they can do that. I can do this. Before they actually can copy my stuff.
Onward, sons of Nilfgaard!
Doesn't seem like we need a leader charge from this position.
My pain serves a purpose.
So I think we're going to cut the megascopes, guys. Would you agree? We can play the Iron Falcon Knife Jugglers. And we're also going to cut the Undying first. We could play like natural selections maybe too, right? Seen a few times like a bit of removal could go a long way in this one. So the next question is, we don't want to use any other leader charges. So we can play the other Fleder, but maybe like Necro out first. I guess we just go Necro out, right? See what I mean though? This card's kind of broken, mate. It's pretty flipping good. Interestingly, they didn't play any Blight Makers as well. So Incubus is set up on the Fledders. We won on even, by the way. I think what we're finding is that Megascope is always the worst card in the deck, in the hand, right? It just means we should remove it. Because it's also clunky. Like, even though it could be good here, all the other cards are great as well. So the Incubus is set up, but we do give them a Fleder of their own. Maybe it's just not worth it. You know, it might be worth it once I play Blightmaker, but I think it's just not worth against Nilfgaard. Only against Nilfgaard, which I think is why the Operator play was just kind of troll anyway. I think it was bad. Having said that, it's my best proactive play.
You're one sexy witch and I'm here to please.
Like, the fact you can do that is so dirty, mate. Instant engine tick. Also, this is good for our Regis, right? We wouldn't be able to bleed on the board otherwise in any situation. But yeah, that is the problem, that they can do this kind of nonsense. So the next question is, what do I do? Crimson Curse seems fine. Nice. You can certainly see why some more removal would be a nice addition.
Your name, young man. The man should be cursed into an urchin.
Just a peek. That is all I need.
Monka Escas.
We're all the same.
Is that really a good invo? So it's important to remember, guys, we won on even. The short round we have Regis. So feeling kind of good about the short round.
A highly curious case.
Time for Oriana. No, they killed our Ekimara. Mate, this deck's kind of popping off, mate. Like, look at this card. You can see why I want to play the Omega Scopes. But we're going to ditch them.
The senses can be fooled.
So, because we won on even, this is just fine. Right? Like, I mean, if we have the pass here, we take it. If not, we just play Alp. We hold the Decree. Just don't play Decree. Unless we know we can 2-0. So, do I have the pass? Their Fledders are not gaining any passive points, whereas my Fledders are gaining 2 more points. So I have 2, 4, 6. Oriana's ticking for only 1. So I have 6 points minus 2. 6 points minus 2 is 4. I'm at 62. So I have the pass, right? By a point. I have the points though, right? Could just pass. I'm now doubting the maths I've done. So Oriana's gaining 1. Gaining 6. 7. 5. I'm gaining 5. They're losing. Alright, whatever. Chat's saying just play. I'll just play. It is still a lot of points. The reason I don't like this play is my Fledders actually don't grow again. This is just a shit play, chat. That was a pass. I just doubted my maths, and that's the only reason I did it. This is just a trash play though. Unless, I guess this is sitting a gold. That's kind of good.
No good wine will come from
It was almost good, right? But I'm pretty sure it was just a pass, because they would have had to have played the card anyway. Like, I literally just... This is just terrible, right? Chat baited me. This is a... What? It gave me 1 extra point on Fledders, so 3 extra points there. They played with 5, so it was an 8-point play. Trash. Never mind. It could have been my fault, to be fair, because I didn't actually do very good maths. So, Incubus, we could give them Blightmaker, we pull Fledder, which is already good on its own, right? We don't have much in the way of bleeding, though.
My prescription, a bit of blood.
Oh, Lord.
No worries. Sins of the flesh are my speciality.
Do I enjoy torture? Perhaps. A bit.
Kind of cheeky. So it's always just Blightmaker, Fledder, right? It's gonna be a 7. There's a 4, so it's like only trading up 3 points, to be fair. Whereas like maybe Nekarat is already a 6 on deploy.
Garments are shackles that restrain our desires. This shit, a fine vintage it would have made. Target acquired.
Don't actually have a vampire, mate. Bit of a yikes. It was bugging. Brothen's Emissary here would be a huge problem for us. They play around the Toad. So maybe it was correct just to take the Toad last turn. So give myself a lose con. Yo, Potion Seller. I guess I can go Regis first, right? Still do it. Brothen's was the last game, mate.
Please. Battles are won or lost by the commanders, not by sorceresses.
Jeez.
Jurix21 donated $11.32. Thanks for bringing back the video intros, also the IP maybe Peepo Shy.
Yo, with Potion Sellers with the Prime sub. Thank you so much, Potion Sellers. And then Jurix come through with the $11 gift sub. donation. We're 16 down, guys. We can't do it. Oh, wait. Yes, we can. Oh, ho, ho. Oniromancy and Roll Decree. Popping off, mate. Okay, we're going to ditch the Omega Scopes, though. More Nilfgaard. Are you flipping serious, guys? We've only queued into Nilfgaard. I've been playing this deck for over an hour. We've only played against Nilfgaard so far. So we've learned that Operator equals bad against Nilfgaard, yes? We do have the Fleder, though. We do have the Fleder, to be fair. We can go Operator Fleder as an opener into this. This is just a really good proactive play, actually.
Not all dragons crave gold.
I don't want to kick both. Hand is pretty playable, but pretty trash there, too. Look at this proactivity, mate. Instant, like, this maximizes the Regis value too, right? That's actually so filthy good. That's actually such a combo. No leader charge is necessary. Yo, Lee Dov! Thank you so much for the Prime Gaming sub, mate. You're a Prime Gamer. I really appreciate my friend. Prime Gamer and a Prime Geezer. Regis is continuing to tick along. Maximum value Regis.
Everyone has their secrets.
So this is just another example of why we could remove this, but I'd quite like to get my other Fleder ticking. I played into assassination here, which was done.
Defeat them with hunger, crush them with thirst.
We could use leader charge, but I don't think we need it. I think we're in a good spot. So we just go Bruxa next. Again, we've had Regis ticking every turn. It's pretty nuts, like what the Incubuses do for you in that sense too. Okay, that's fine really, it's not ideal. We get to work on the Blightmaker because it sets up a nice Incubus. Fleders are pretty good, guys. So, obviously, the problem with damaging this is I just play further into Tool Punish, which I'm already playing quite deeply into. I don't think we're ever really wanting the Blightmaker, right? I mean, we could use the Dettlaff if we want to win the round, which I guess we do. We could go for it. It's kind of overcommitment though, right? Maybe. Like, we can still pass, for example. It's a little controversial because of how tall I'm going, but...
Not your lucky day.
I mean, I guess passing was an option.
Garments are shackles that restrain our desires.
Not my lucky day, mate. True. Funny thing is, How much this boosted by? 3? If I didn't even hit this, would have been fine, right? Could I just hit anything else? Oh, Lord. So, we have the pass on a tie. It seems like a pretty good pass, right? Seems like a good pass. I have a juicer hand. Because Regis is buffing. Because there's bleeding on the board. What's the average points value? I don't know. Oh! Oh my lord, that's actually bad. Really bad. So sad. It was almost amazing. We had, like, the fact that we had the thickest Regis of all time almost paid off, mate. We still have a lot of juice. We only played bronzes round 1, like such is the power of the deck. We only played 1 gold. They played Igni, they played Vilg, they played Lydia. Oh god, chat, why? Why are you making me play this card? But yeah, obviously if they hit any other card, we'd still have the Regis and it wouldn't have made a difference. I don't think we're in the worst spot. It's obviously unfortunate. That is a juicer hand. Man, this deck just feels pretty nice, actually, to say. Vibing with it quite a lot. Incubus is just such a smurf, mate. Really is good.
Share the night, share the love.
So we can go for another Fleder or we can go for Gale. We've only played Nilfgaard in over an hour, yeah. And we're positive, which is a really good sign. Pretty high. So I'm thinking Gale on this would be nice, right? Rather than, there's no point in going for the other guy that just gets locked. I mean, there is a little bit. They also have Imposter, right? But Gale on Letho sounds pretty OP. This gives us another good Blood Moon target. I'm really enjoying this deck, guys. I'm having a lot of fun with it. Obviously, there's an argument to Heatwave, but mate, just get our Blood Moon value ticking in it. So we could go like Leader Charge Ori next.
A superb specimen, truly.
The Leader Charge is just good because it gives us extra bleed. We could go for the. We still want to go for the Gale, right, on this guy, I think. It's not the best Orianna I've ever seen. Orianna might get cut, guys, I think. Should we cut the Ori? She's the worst card in the deck now, right? Apart from the Feast for Undying Thirst. Like, she can't be worth. What we could do is we could put Katakan in, and then we could play the Knife Jugglers. We could also just rejig the provisions somewhat. That's interesting. Hand is pretty awkward here. We could play Toad Prince to just eat our own card. That's really bad, but it's kind of where we're at. Like, Keywave's pointless here. We could, of course, go Raw Decree. I just had my heart set on the Gale. Right? Gale on Letho is so good. going to buff by 8, which means he'd be a 12. Whereas this is a 7. I guess just because of sequencing sake, we should go for the Fleder here. But we know they have Ceratan Orcs. Leading Mergel's fine because it's boosted. Leading my Fled is also fine because it gives me Toe Prints. But yeah, like, I mean, it was my best option, right? Like, everything else sucks. Maybe you could make an argument to just go Toe Prints, but like, Toe Prints is way better, right? They actually locked the Ori instead, which I'm not sure was the correct line. Holy moly. Orion is definitely okay, but...
This could hurt.
Hero pass.
Satisfaction guaranteed.
Let's go! Another victory! Another one, chat. Chat? Yo, Damo. Lovely to see you, mate. Is this already... No. It starts next... So, there's a lot of problems with traps. Obviously, Milva, Saskia are big ones. I think Saskia the biggest, but... Eldane, like, it's just... Ever since that card was printed, it was just waiting to be OP, right? Whatever, on to the next one, guys. We're playing against no Nilfgaard, and it's not Milva, so let's go. I'm over it. I'm sorry for lowering the mood. I'm sure you guys can appreciate my frustration against traps, mate. That was just a pathetic game. But we move. On to the next one. Ah, that was a big rage, mate. Oh, bloody hate traps. Nice one, Flake, mate. It's nice to just let it out, mate, rather than contain it. Smile and wave, you know. Yeah, traps is for smart people. Payable always beats traps. Yeah. Always, even with vampires. What the hell? That is cheating. That is cheating, mate. I guess we just open Necro out, leave it on the board. We could obviously go natural selection. But natural selections are really good in this matchup. Is there anything else we can do? We could go Nero for Katakan, in fairness. Let's do that. They're Devotion, which means we need round control because they have Defender and Unseen Elder, which is going to be a real problem for us. I guess we want Last Say, Heatwave the Regis. That's not a bad Heatwave either, though, in fairness. It's not a bad Heatwave, that. Winning on even is, of course, another alternative. So, Heatwave plays for 9. We don't really need to do it yet, right? Like, if we win on even or we use Heatwave, we win round 1 and then bleed to have Heatwave. Ideally, I would win on even here. If I was to Heatwave Leader Charge, plays for 4, 5, no, 3, 2, 11, 14 points. It's not enough. So we just go Necro. I think this heat wave is like the only way I'm winning this round. I think if I don't win the round, I just lose the game. Surely the selections are going to play for points, mate. Where are their cards? I guess with toe prints, keeping double selection was bad anyway. I can't really remember what I mulliganed. I think Knife Juggler. Which I guess I could have realised that Catacam was a big option in round 1 in a mirror. I wasn't really, especially with the Crystal Skull, right? I wasn't really expecting an Anal Conquer as well, though. Pretty tight game as it stands. Hand is bad though, but I just don't know where their bronze engines are, man. Like, I had the perfect hand to deal with them, right? They don't seem to be playing them, unfortunately for us. Katakan lives to fight another day, which is great. We could, like, just natural selection the Anal Conqueror sets up toe prints. This is fine to do, though. Hey, Kuvin, what's up, mate? Hope you're well, my friend. We've been in an endless day of queuing Nilfgaard. We finally queued a different deck, and it was bloody traps, and it was even more mad. After 2 hours of only Nilfgaard. All it took was one non-Nilfgaard deck to trigger me, and I'm playing vampires. God. Nilfgaard should be one of the worst matchups, but we found the other one. Now we're in a vampire mirror, which is pretty interesting. So we're going to use one leader charge here. Or like a bleed off Roll Decree maybe, I guess. So then we get another Katakan click. Does this get us ahead here, chat? Blazers are... I mean, I have so much more bleeding than them, right? They have 3 bleeding. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Must do, yeah. There's like no good leader targets for bleed here. Fortunately, our Roll Decree options are pretty bad, apart from Regis, which is obviously a finisher. As I say, I think because we used our Heat Wave, like, winning on even is pretty much our win con. We're just going to get slammed by Unseen Elder otherwise, right? We just don't have an answer for him. There's an Oriana. That's a pretty big card to get out. I guess we just have to play the slowest card, which gets ahead here. So they're bleeding for basically, this doesn't count as a bleed, basically it cancels itself out. They're bleeding for 1, 2, 3, So they're at 27, but then they're going to gain 1, 2... No, they're not going to gain... Yeah, they are going to gain 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're gaining 1, 2, 3, 4. They're losing 2, 3. So they're at 31 points. I'm so far behind here, right? I mean, I could do it in 2 cards. At the very least, I can threaten to do it in 2 cards. I mean, wait, I made a 4 tempo play. Maybe I could have gotten ahead there. I don't know, man. Maybe I misplayed, I'm not sure.
No worries. Sins of the flesh are my specialty.
I think this is pretty good, right? It's pretty smooth. I mean, I have last say. What I could do with Regis is I could just, like, play unitless. You know what I mean? Incubus would be the ideal opening card here if I was to push. Mate. Okay, guys, we're actually going for the unitless line. Unironically. We just lose to engines, right? So the line is we're going to go... like, we should be pretty unfavored in the mirror, I think. Because, like, the benefit we get from being Devotion is we get an Operator and a Heatwave. We use the Heatwave round 1. And we're just going to try and go uninteractive. The Gale could be fine. The Fleder could also be fine. Because it is good. It's better than half the cards here, right? I guess I just keep the hand. Spares key. Oh, fucking 8 traps. Also a spare C. I'm going unitless. Yep. Pretty much. So we bleed straight away for the Regis value. Also, I guess this would be a good Gale target. Unfortunately, we don't have much left to go unitless with. You know? Maybe unitless is a bit of a stretch, but... we can go Detlaf if they go back row in particular. We could have gone Feast for Blood here, right? And then Gale this. I mean, yeah, we're not doing a good job of being unitless, to be fair. But we're also just not giving them good leader targets. So they have their own Detlaf. They're just running out of stuff to bleed, mate.
Be not afraid. This'll only
Seems
hurt.
kind of bad. So we get 2 more bleeds, right? On this. Obviously, we could hit the Gale onto the Detlaf as well, though. But we only deal 1 damage there. I mean, we could take the Gale, but we also... I think I just want to play the Fleder now. Like, I want to get the bleed value. And then I can Gale the Cave Troll if Detlaf catches the buffs. Right? This is 5 strength. We need to bleed it for 2 turns. Obviously, the downside is it does give us like another bleed target. 2 bleed targets.
Must be secure.
But our Fledder's also got points off the Crimson Curse, right? Our Regis is bigger by going uninteractive. Let's go! Come on! Yes! What a win, mate. What a bloody win. Woo!